Welcome to V News Daily, and the top stories for today are coming right up.
Prime Minister TRUYnh meets New York Mayor. Export value in the first quarter hits $24.5 billion. Central City is gearing up for its biennial festival.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Dũng received Mayor of New York City Michael Bloomberg in Hanoi on March 23rd on his working visit to Vietnam. The government chief hoped Bloomberg's visit would contribute to elevating Vietnam and U.S. cooperation.
Prime Minister Dũng noted remarkable developments in Vietnam-U.S. relations recently, especially in the fields of trade, investment, education and training, culture, and dealing with climate change. He thanked Bloomberg for his charitable operations and a program to provide helmets for Vietnamese children. He also spoke highly of Bloomberg's news for its objective stories on Vietnam's economy to help the world understand Vietnam's development more clearly. He said he hopes the U.S. government and New York authorities will continue to creating favorable conditions for the Vietnamese community in the U.S. so that they can enjoy a stable life. For his part, Bloomberg affirms a commitment to making more contributions to promoting cooperation between New York and localities in Vietnam. Two-way trade turnover between Vietnam and the U.S. has increased steadily, reaching $21 billion in 2011. The U.S. ranked 6th among countries and territories investing in Vietnam.
Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh held talks with visiting Argentinian counterpart Hector Timerman in Hanoi on March 23rd. They sought ways to strengthen a comprehensive partnership between the two countries.
Both ministers agree on boosting bilateral partnership in the fields of foreign relations, trade and investment, energy and oil, healthcare, agriculture as well as science and technology. According to Minister Minh, the two countries should arrange more exchange visits and generate more activities for their intergovernmental committees, alongside developing a political consultation mechanism between their foreign ministries. Timerman affirmed Argentina would promote investment cooperation with Vietnam, particularly in hydropower and wind power projects. He said his country will pose to share its experience and provide technical assistance to Vietnam in the fields of agriculture, anthropology, and international integration negotiations. They discussed international and regional issues of mutual concern and agreed to continue working closely at multilateral forums and with other international organizations. Both ministers agreed that sovereignty and territorial disputes should be settled by peaceful measures and in accordance with international laws. Later on the day, the visiting Argentinian foreign minister were received by Prime Minister Nguyễn Dũng. Dũng reiterated the need for the two countries to better cooperation at multilateral forums and boost two-way trade over the current level of $1 billion. He agreed with the guest proposals on increasing bilateral cooperation in protecting the environment and coping with climate change and sea level rise.
Members of the Advisory Council of the Religious Affairs of the Vietnam Fatherland Front talked about ways to further refine religious law and policies during their meeting in Hanoi, also on March 23rd.
The Council members said religious law and policy should provide favorable conditions for religions to promote their moral and human values in non-religious activities. They spoke of achievements of the legal system related to religions in Vietnam during the national renewal process and international integration. Vietnam is a country with many religions, and all of them are equal before law. Religious activities are guaranteed by the Constitution, which we can see in the building of places of worship and training schools for religious followers. People from different religions have participated in the National Assembly, the People's Council at all levels, and social and mass organizations. Their say in people elected agencies and the National Unity Bloc has been heard. The council members also made proposals regarding religious management in implementing religious law. They heard opinions and aspirations of religious organizations, dignitaries, and followers about law and policies on religion.
The General Statistics Office reported that with March export turnover of $9.15 billion, the country's total export value in the first quarter increased 23.6% over the same period last year to $24.5 billion.
Excluding crude oil, garments and textiles, as well as seafood and coffee, remained the country's key export staples in the January-March period. Textiles and garments made up $3.23 billion of the nation's total export earnings, up 15.4% over the same period last year. The export value of seafood also shows 11.7% to $1.26 billion, despite a decrease of 11.8%. Coffee exports still earn $1.06 billion. The country, meanwhile, spent $9.3 billion for imports in March, up 8.1% over the previous month. March results raised the first quarter's import value to $24.77 billion, up 6.9% year-on-year.
The General Department of Customs reported that Vietnam exported about 49,200 tons of coffee to Germany, earning over $100 million in the first 2 months of the year.
The 2-month coffee export value earned from Germany saw a surge in February figure, which hit $66.7 million. In 2011, Vietnam shipped more than 135,000 tons of coffee to Germany, ranking in nearly $300 million.
13 Vietnamese travel agencies are participating in the Moscow International Travel and Tourism Exhibition 2012 to promote popular sites of Vietnam in Russia.
The Vietnamese companies' booths have attracted visitors thanks to their good arrangement and special art performance. We are here to introduce tourist draws to lure more Russian holidaymakers to our country in the future. Russian visitors are now very interested in Vietnam because of local people's hospitality, beautiful sights, especially gorgeous beaches, along with tasty and cheap food. I have visited 27 countries around the world, and now I'm eager to make a trip to Vietnam. Many others want to visit Vietnam too. She said Russian visitors hope direct air routes from Moscow to Nha Trang City or Binh Thuận province in Vietnam's southern central region will be launched in the future. The service would shorten travel time for Russian holidaymakers.
The central city of Hue is gearing up for its biennial festival, which promises a diverse program of performances and activities across a week of celebration. The festival organizing committee said 36 art troupes from 22 countries have registered to take part in this event.
Held from April 7 to 15 this year, this will be the 7th festival that Hue City has organized every 2 years since 2000. A main stage will be built in the Royal Citadel for the opening ceremony that features a music and dance art performance titled Royal Citadel Night. A series of stages will be installed outside the Royal Citadel soon for community arts performances. According to the organizing committee, a music and dance performance named Oriental Night, which was introduced in 2010, will be staged again at the Tai Hoa Palace. The Áo Dài, Vietnamese traditional long dress show will be again a major event. New shows were also created to keep the festival fresh. Nguyễn Đình Chiểu Street along the Hương riverbank will be reserved as a pedestrian street featuring a range of cuisine. Hotels in the city, with a capacity of 10,000 rooms, are bracing for a large number of tourist arrivals. The festival in 2010 greeted more than 3 million foreign and local visitors.
And that should be all for today. Thank you for tuning in and see you tomorrow.